Well, hello everyone, this is Bob Martin, the RCSubGuy with the Nautilus Dry Docks, and hey, if you found my channel, then odds are really good that you're interested in RC submarines. Thanks for joining me. This is my weekly update video, and we're going to show you everything we do in the shop here at the Nautilus Dry Docks, and most of it has to do with RC submarines, so thanks for joining me. In this week's episode, Sub Ed Tortle and I put my new-to-me 212 in the pool, and he pushes it around with his new-to-him little tug. We are going to finish up swapping out the radio in that gigantic 70-inch Nautilus. We are going to finish up the repairs on a really cool 72nd scale Type 7. We're going to continue our work on the Seagate Titan. We are going to sink our poor little Delphin. We are going to be revisited from the ghost of RC submarines in the past. We are going to break out my gigantic 150th Alpha and get it ready for Subfest, and we are going to delve deep into a completely selfish project of a surface craft, a fantasy steampunk boat, all for me. So I hope you're gonna enjoy what you see. Thanks for sticking around. Don't forget to subscribe, and hey, let's get started. We're kicking things off right where we left off last week. It's Saturday. Ed and I went out for breakfast, and now we spent a little bit of time in the shop finalizing the bow thruster on the 212, and we're going to throw it in the water. So this is where she's floating. I think this is approximately where it was before. It might be a little higher looking at it now. But, of course, the big question, what's it going to do when we vent the tank? So maybe if I can get you, Ed, to just give it a little nudge so it's not close to the side there. And then we'll try out our new dive button. Just push the bottom button here, and this should be within 30 seconds or so. It's pretty level.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay, that's it. Oh baby.
Oh,
so
give it a minute. Let's see her settle, right?
I think we had just a little more weight right in the middle.
Let's look. Let's give her a minute here. Let her settle. I'm saying that's close. That is almost close.
Just a tiny bit more. Well, here we go. 3 ounces right at the leading edge of the sail. I think that's got it. It's a little bit lighter than it was before. When I had it before, the top of the sail was just level.
A wash.
Yeah.
Okay. But which is perfect. But you're in the zone.
Yeah.
And right, better light than not. You can always add another ounce or so if you're that.
Look at her come up. That's that giant air pump. 4 liters of air per minute.
Yeah, look at that. Even the crew experienced flooding through that forward hatch.
It goes up and down perfectly level.
Oh, that's sweet. I don't think you deserve this boat, Bob. I think I should buy it off you, Bob.
Well, now you couldn't afford it, now that I got it all tuned up. All right, well, I can pull it out, throw those weights under there, and then what? You want me to put it in the big pool so we can push it around?
We'll push it around, and you can run a little bit too.
Ed brought his special project, and we're gonna see how well that works. So Ed's gonna give a shot of maneuvering a stranded submarine.
Okay. All right, you see the design flaw?
Yeah, you need some weights on your arms. That boat's 30th.
They're about the same scale.
Oh, there you go. Look at you being so gentle. That's perfect. It's perfect for this boat. It's touching actually at the top and the bottom. Don't scrape my tail.
Well, this takes practice.
It does, yeah.
Why we call it research involved.
So now you got me thinking what I should do with my big Mr. Darby salvage tug, fantasy salvage tug, is put one of those, make an accommodation for those push bars for it.
Yeah. I mean, look, are they, you know, is it something everybody needs? No. But if you have a tug and you're out with some RC Submarine who's disabled on the surface, you can help them, or yourself. I mean, this is the bigger failure, you know, bigger of the failures you tend to have. You're getting disabled on the surface.
Yeah, the most common type of failure is something like this, where you're stranded on the surface, you've severed your drivetrain, you've lost a prop. And here's that bow thruster working, so she's level now. I'll kick her straight over. And if you modulate your main throttle, you can be completely stationary. In practical application at the pond, I would never need this, but for docking, or just to be cool. Hey, it was there. We got it working. I'm driving, in case you didn't notice, and it's Sunday. I am dropping off Columbia to Virginia, a place called Church Falls, Virginia, to be exact. And it's a little bit of a drive. It's about 24 hours of drive time. I'm going to do it in 2 days. Couldn't sleep last night, really. Got a lot of things percolating in my brain. Woke up at like 1:30 and I'm like, might as well start driving. So it's currently 10 a.m. right now, and I've been on the road for 8 hours. So should make it to Chattanooga, Tennessee, where I'm going to overnight. Be getting there about 4 p.m. local time. Give me a chance to get checked in, grab some dinner, relax a little bit, get an early night. So I'm excited to see. I have no idea what to expect when I get where I'm going, but it's General Dynamics. It's it's a division there, and this is going to be on display in the lobby somewhere. So probably what'll happen, they'll open the doors, I'll drop it off, and they'll bid me farewell. But it'd be cool if there's something cool to see, if I could see it. But I'm just going to keep trucking along. I'm going to try and stay awake. I'm on I-59 right now. It's beautiful. There's like nobody on this road. When I was on the I-10 earlier, it was like bumper to bumper big semi-trucks. But this is a beautiful, beautiful drive. I want to make a quick comment about my rental vehicles. I ran it through Budget. Usually I go through National. I got status with National, but they didn't like the idea of a one-way trip because I'm going to drive up to Virginia and fly home. So I had to go through Budget. It was like 50 minutes standing in line to get this vehicle. It's a Ford Exhibitionist. I don't know. Excursion, exhibition, excursion, I don't know. It's one of the big Fords. Comfortable enough. 20 miles to the gallon. It's about standard. Reeks of marijuana in here. Like, so bad my eyes were burning when I picked it up. And there's some weird scratches on the window here. I don't know. It comes from Colorado. Maybe somebody scratched it scraping ice. That's probably what it was. But at any rate, could be a long trip. And hopefully no police dogs get up next to me anywhere tonight or tomorrow. because it wasn't me. I don't smoke that stuff. It is Monday at 10 o'clock Eastern time, which is 9 o'clock for me. Made it through. I was tired, man. Didn't get much sleep the night before. I crashed early, got up nice and early. Reached out to the guys at General Dynamics there, but they can't take me early because I'm going to be there at about 1:15 today. Made good time. Took off at like 5 a.m. We're just coming up on 18 hours of drive time into this trip here so far. Of course, day 2 at about 10 o'clock in the morning. So I think we're just going to go to the hotel, pull the boat out, double check it, make sure there's no problem. I have noticed we have it on a stand in the back with soft towels all around it, but when I had moved it the other day, yesterday, I saw that just from the constant vibration of these terrible, terrible, terrible roads all across the United States, it polished out some areas where it was touching the stand with that soft cloth. So I got to see how bad those areas are, if they need to be addressed, and if so, I guess I got a little time to try and go out and get some matte clear and touch them up or whatever I need to do. So that's the plan. I'm just gonna keep on trucking to the hotel and take stock of things there. Well, it's Tuesday. We made it, and the hotel was really nice. I thought it was really funny. There's a whole bunch of kids in like a bus. I don't know what they're all doing, but apparently the chaperones didn't trust them very much because they put tape over all their doors over the course of the evening to make sure, I guess, that they weren't sneaking out. I thought that was pretty funny. But at any rate, I'm on my way to drop this off at corporate headquarters of General Dynamics, and hopefully they like it. Sub's taken out of its wrappings. I've got it on the stand there. We'll do one more wipe when we get there. Don't know what to expect, but it should be cool. Hopefully I can take a couple pictures, find out where it's going, and let y'all know. And after that, straight to the airport, hop on a plane, and home we go. Well, I gotta say it was a little anticlimactic, the whole drop-off. It's a corporate building. Looks like they're just kind of renting part of a big new office complex there, and I just kind of brought it in. They threw it in a closet, and that was it. They did show me where it's going. It's in a stairwell. It's all kind of painted blue. I'll put a picture in here for you guys to see. But hopefully it looks cool. I told them rather than on a stand, man, they should be hanging it from the ceiling so that everybody can see it as they go up and down the stairs. But hey, who am I? I just built the boat, right? I forgot to give them the bolts, so I got to go back in and do that, and then I am off to the airport. Well, I am back in the shop. It's Wednesday morning, about 5:30 in the morning. I've actually been up for a while, catching up on emails that I lost. Couple things that we need to do here this morning. We got a couple of boats for Stan. We got his big 70-inch Nautilus, and then behind there, 172nd Type 7. These are both repairs. New boat for the Nautilus, and a repair on the Type 7. As a background for that one, Stanley had that boat, and it was all fully functional and awesome and ready to go. And actually, it looks pretty beautiful. And it fell off a shelf and got smashed into a gajillion pieces. And so we took the time, go through it. We rebuilt the entire rudder assembly. Logan redid a whole bunch of detail parts off of another kit we purchased to replace all of the broken ones. Repainted it to match the colors. Now we need to get radios. And he is going to get a brand new X14, and one transmitter is going to handle both boats. Nautilus is all set to go. Let's take a look. We have got rudderage, dive planeage, throttleage, ballast, vent, blow, and emergency. Loving it. Loving it. The other thing that I just did, I removed the sticky uppy cappy thing that I had back here because it was sticking up and it was jamming on the flotation foam that we had up here. So I replaced it with a standard cap. But the idea was that you would use that other cap to pressure test it. But you still can. You just unscrew that cap and you put this cap on. And then you can blow into the hose and it'll pressure test not only the aft compartment, but the forward compartment. Pretty awesome. The other thing that I did, because opening up this compartment is such a major pain in the patella, anytime you wanted to bind or rebind the receiver, you would have to open the whole thing up. So what I did instead is I drilled and tapped a hole, and now this can be completely sealed up, and anytime you need to rebind or register the receiver to different radio or whatever, you just undo that and you're good to go. Okay, we working on the little Type 7 here. Logan's got the receiver installed, and it fits, like, barely, right? Barely. Here's the battery situation. It's got a little 850 milliamp hour 2S lithium polymer battery pack. But tell me what's wrong with this picture. Come on, you smarty pants people. It's got the wrong end on the battery. Not good standard practice. You know, it may work in the boat, but how do you charge it? Because your charger, right here, standard. So male to male doesn't work very good. You know, you could use pins, like, or, you know, alligator clips, I guess.
It's still not exactly
not best practice. But I'm going to double check this battery and make sure it's dead. If not, I don't know, maybe we'll just reuse it. It's his boat. I'm not building it for him. I'm just fixing it. We'll get it figured out, though, one way or the other. New battery or not. We're thinking of maybe throwing this in there.
Run it for 9 days straight.
For extended runtime. 8,000 milliamp hours. You
just got to deal with the fact your boat's going to be on a 30-degree tilt the whole time.
Yeah, we'll just strap it, strap it to the keel. It'll be fine. In an effort to keep the ball rolling here while the battery's charging, that battery is taking a charge, by the way, so that's a good thing. We're trying to bypass that battery and the switch and just throw voltage at this so I can program the radio. But the problem is when we put voltage to it, nothing is happening. Part one of the problem was over here. And Logan's just started a reclamation project. This was completely and utterly corroded. And now on the other side of things, this is just ever so slightly corroded as well, which could be a lot of the problem that we're having. So we got to bust out our micro files here and see if we can get some juice going to this unit so that we can program it. So micro files, we'll have to file it down to polished. And then once we do, just a little wick of dielectric grease goes a long way. All right. While the RC Sub Kid grindifies on the electrical connections, I am going to mess about with the Titan. And for those of you unfamiliar with this project, in case you're just stopping by, this is a replica of the Seagate Titan. It doesn't go like that. It goes like this. And it's going to be like a little functional model. We've done a bunch of testing in our last video, and I can maybe right there, and we had it in the water. Didn't get a lot of stellar performance out of it because our weights were situated directly behind the jets, and they're blocking them. So what we're doing now is we're installing the weights in the boat. And then we'll go back to the top secret test facility. What we're doing here, though, you can see I got these duck decoy weights strapped to the bottom of the skids. And they look perfect. You can't even see them there. And what this is going to do is it is going to exponentially increase the righting moment about the boat, because this is going to be so far removed from the center line of, or the center of buoyancy, it'll create a massive righting moment. But you'll notice I didn't glue it. There's just zipple strippled And what that's going to allow me to do, once we get the boat in the water, I can fine tune the trim by sliding these weights forward or backward. You can see I got about a 1/2 inch front and back, so that it'll adjust the trim of the boat until it's utterly and completely perfect. So what I'm going to do now is put these in here, and then I need to get these in there. And by my calculations, that will be 99.9% of the way that we need to be to get this where it needs to be fully trimified. So, successfulness. It appears that it was just a massively corroded power circuit in 3 different joints. So, Master Logan is going to reassemble everything. And, as I noted, a little dielectric grease goes a long way, people. Make sure it says dielectric. Dielectric. Food grade. Oh, you can eat it. But we'll put a little bit on all of the connections. Not only will it make it easier to take apart and put together again, but it will also help insulate these connectors from water intrusion, which never, ever, ever happens in a watertight cylinder. Ever. Never get water in them. Right?
If you're doing it right, technically.
Yeah, no, I'm lying. Okay, so he's going to hook everything up, and hopefully it works. I've only tried it from here. I've gone ahead and I programmed the radio. It took all of 6 minutes and 15 seconds to do the entire program for the boat. We're going to hook it back up together, throw it in the boat, put the linkages in, check all the throws, check all the directions, make sure that those are all set up the fail-safe. Done. So we got everything all hooked up again, and it's functional. But it kind of gave us a little bit of a scare, because if you go ahead and touch that connection, give it a wiggle. Yeah, it died. And then it comes back. So the Dean's, I think, is really, really like corroded, so we have to either do more filing. Yeah. Okay, yeah, don't do that. Or just replace it with a nice XT30, a nice small, reliable connection. And that'll allow us to do away with this funkiness, which is kind of cool. I can understand why they did it. This is the switch allowance, but we're gonna simplify that. So just gonna cut, snip, glue, part, and done. All right, back to the Titan. We'd weighed out all of our weights, and we cut them and got all that stuff. And this is how they're sitting here now inside. So what I'm doing right now, I'm charging up the battery over there. Get it all fired up so it's operating at peak percentages. And let this kick off and cure. Slip everything in. Put it all back together again. Throw it in the top secret test faculty, and check our trim again. I got a hunch. I think we need to add just a sliver whisper, because we want to get this so it's just barely floating, so that when we suck in that extra water, it becomes negatively buoyant. Just so it goes like this. I'm sure we can do that, right? Yeah, of course we can. Type 7 lives. So we got the radio all configured, set up. We got our linkages and trims and endpoints and reversals and all of that stuff going on. So we got actually some pretty nice throw action going on. Logan did a good job on these rudders. We got bow planes. We got throttles. And we've got stern planes. Zoop, zoop. And the pitch controller is working. And the ballast is working. I gotta figure out if we're gonna actually trim this out. This is as far as we were. I think this is actually more than what we were supposed to do, honestly. We were just supposed to fix the damage, not rejuvenate his cylinder and fix all the broken linkages and stuff. But I guess, if he's gonna bring this to Subfest, we should probably see if it works. So maybe cue that up. It's kind of nasty today. Maybe we'll cue it up for tomorrow when Jason's here. All right. Mill's coming to pick up his Stingray in an hour. So we got that all queued up and ready to go. And tested and polished and ready. Boy, we made good headway today. We got a lot done. Okay, well, now what the heck do we do? Got a customer boat in. Let's take a look and see what's inside it. Damn it. So for those of you who are new to my channel, you may not recognize this boat. But this is Howard's 212. And it's been through the shop
6 times?
like 18 million times. It seems like every time we ship it, it ends up broken. And then it comes back and we fix it. And it gets broken. And we ship it. And it gets broken into a million pieces. Oh. Let it go. Oh. Oh, man. I don't know if that was like that. Or, I don't know. There's water coming out of it and everything. Okay. Story behind Howard's 212. This poor boat started out, well, it still is, as an Engel 212. And it has seen extensive modifications due to failed parts and upgrades and all sorts of stuff. Like I said, the primary issue, the big one was here in the bayonet, where it got sheared off when Howard ended up dropping it in an unfortunate accident. So we re-engineered this whole thing and rebuilt it and got it going. Oh man, this prop is jammed. I can't twist this with my fingers. Oh, shoot. So he said this got bent and then this piece got missing, which I don't know where the missing piece is. But he said he couldn't bend it back. He was too hesitant to apply the necessary force. Holy. There's something very, very wrong with that. Okay, yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Good. I don't think we're gonna have a chance to work on this today, but let's take some stockage of where we're at. All right, here's what we got. We got one wonky dive plane here. It swivels smoothly in the sleeve, but it's just bent at the sleeve, at the bushing here. This is a bushing, not a shaft. The shaft is inside. You see, it's moving inside it. So we just got to apply some precision force on this thing. So you just got to very, very gently hit it with the hammer. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. The trick is to apply said force on the junction of the bushing. Boy, it was a lot of force that it took to bend that thing. They're getting there. We're getting there. It's completely, the bushing is completely loose in the stern. And you guys get to watch when it slips and I totally break it off. Almost there. Ah! Maybe a little more. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So these are the broken pieces that go kind of like up in here, like this, on the one side and the other side. So what we need to do, grind these, clean them up, get the old glue off, rough this up as much as possible, glue these in, glue that in without getting glue in there and fusing the entire thing together forever. No problem. All right, so I got the pieces in here. This is going to take some grinding and sanding and filling and all sorts of stuff to make looking awesome, but so much better than it was. And I don't know what's going on, but I got this all freed up because this prop was torqued tight against the hull. So the way this works is this is like a retaining nut. You can loosen it, back the prop off or screw it on, and then tighten this down to lock it in place. But this was so tight against this that you couldn't even move it. But now, as you can see, is perfecto. So now, the primary issue that Howard's concerned about is a leak in here somewhere. None of this is good. If that, like for example, if it's this bellows way in here, I have no idea how I'm going to change that. This is nightmare. So what we got to do is power this thing up, test it, and then if we cycle the ballast, it's going to pressurize the internal chamber, and we'll be able to check for bubbles in this rear area. So I think for today, all we're going to do is fire it up, see if it works, and if so, we can bring it in the top secret test facility tomorrow, along with the Type 7. Oh my God. So I went to go open this up, and the high strength nylon replacement piece for the bayonet completely and utterly broken, shattered. This was working perfectly, guys. It was, oh my God. Well, we're wrapped up here for the day, but just want to show you one more thing we did on the Type 7, and one more thing we did on Howard's 212. So you can see missing rigging has been installed, and this was a piece from the Revell kit, the spare one that we got. But this rigging is a product called Stretch Magic. Now, I love this stuff, and I use it on all of my like fleet boats and that kind of thing to create antennas and wires and that sort of a thing. Reason being is stretchy, hence the name Stretch Magic. This stuff is used for like making like kids bracelets and stuff like that. So it's got some stretchification to it. And the reason that's important is because if you use a rigid cable, what is going to end up happening is eventually you're going to end up getting some slack in there, and you're going to end up with droopy cables. Or for those of you that are like, oh, I want to use the steel cables because that's the most authentic, what'll happen is they'll get loose and then they'll be all kinky and stupid looking. So if you get something like this that keeps a little tension on there, you got a tremendous amount of flexibility. You can create quick connects in here. If, for example, this was part of your forward hull, you can just snap it on, and it looks great. If you don't like the gloss, you can just paint it. You just use a little bit of flat black, and it sticks right to it. It's great. Stretch Magic, and make sure you pick your diameter. This is 0.8, so it's the thinner stuff. This boat is turning out pretty cool. I can't wait to get it in the water tomorrow. And regarding Howard's beleaguered 212, so this is the smashed up part we talked about earlier on here, and this is the replacement part. Now, when I originally sourced these, I didn't have my new printer, and so this was commercially printed 3D nylon, super strong stuff. Pfft. Apparently the UPS has super strength. But this is from my new printer, and this is glass reinforced ABS plastic. So what I'm going to need to do now is break this old one out, grind out the inside of the seam, and then install the new one whilst getting perfect alignment just like it did for us last time. It'll be time, but Howard is desperate to have a boat, any boat, functional at Subfest, so we're just going to throw ourselves at this and see what we can do for him. It is Thursday today. Oh, we got to take garbage out.
Oh yeah.
Garbage day. It's raining outside. I forgot. I had taken some video when Mel was here picking up Stingray, but for whatever reason it didn't record. It didn't take. It's not on my phone. I can't find it. Great guy. And I hooked him up with his boat. We crated it all up. We gave him some touch-up paint, and he's all good. He brought me shirts. Check that out. Pretty nice. I like it. Thanks, Mel. That was awesome of you. Let's get this day started by revisiting the 212. So, here's what we got going on. This is, as I said earlier, a nylon printed part. And it's glued and fused into this resin part. So, just for your knowledge, if you ever bust a tooth on your bayonet in these systems, you're hooped. You're screwed. It's all integral in this whole back part. And there's a tremendous amount of force on these teeth or these flanges. So what we're trying to do here now is get in underneath and pry this out. Hopefully it'll shear between the nylon and the resin so we can extract this. If not, if it ends up like what it looks like it's going to end up, we're going to have to grind the entire perimeter on the inside. This is going to be a minor nightmare. All right, well, let's see what we can do. So we got it out. Look, came out mostly in one piece. I guess that's the joy of brittle acrylate. It took some work, trust me, but it all came out pretty clean. So Jason's just cleaning up the face so that we get a nice, good interference fit with the new part. And then we're going to go ahead and gluify this in there. And hopefully it works to seal the boat up, and we can test for leaks and get it done. And it's coming to Subfest is what's happening, which is 1 month away. We got to get this done because I got to get other boats done for Subfest, including my own. My Alpha needs some TLC, so I have 2 boats to run instead of just 1 boat. All right, Jason's got this face all cleaned up, and we got our spacer. I got it slitted so we can slip it over everything, but this is exponentially more rigid because it's glass filled than the nylon was. So now it only opens half an inch. So what I'm thinking is we're going to heat this up right here and then spread it, put it back together real quick, and hopefully it'll unmeltify in the correct position. So let's see how that works. It worked. No problem. We got it inserted and glued, and we aligned everything. So we're just going to let that kick for a little bit. But in the meantime, let's grab his radio, fire that up, and we'll hook up our batteries and see if this thing actually fires up. All right, issue number 568 with the 212. If you take a look in here at the bolt in the bottom, right there on the bottom, right there at the bottom, that is rubbing on the linkage. So when we try and go up in the boat, it's binding. We got good throw every other which way, but not in the upward position, which is going to make it awkward to surface the boat. We're going to try and do some grinderinging with a milling bit and just knock that face of that bolt down just a little bit, because I think that will free it up. So let's see what we can tear up in here. This is about as good as it's going to get, I think. Here, let's put it right side up so we can see. So we got, let's do left and right. Nice deflections, down and up. Oh, that's way better. Oh yeah, we totally got it. Yeah, no more grindy, pushy, fighty kind of thing going on back here. Throttle's good. We know the oh yeah. If I remember correctly, we have this set at like 30%.
Yeah, the rocket.
Yeah. And we know the ballast works because we did cycle it here a little earlier. So now that this is kicked off, cured, and locked in place, we're going to see if we can bolt or clip our hull onto our boat. So let's see how that works out. It works. We're done. We're fixed. Throw it back in the mail. Now, I got Titan set, actually plugged in as well. This is set. So now we just got to go outside in the pouring rain and throw it in the top secret test facility. So with it pouring down rain, we're not going to go to the top secret test facility because we are all wusses and don't feel like getting wet and ruining a $400 radio. Bring it outside. So we're going to do some fun stuff for my stuff. This is my 1/48th Alpha. Actually, I think it's 1/50th Alpha. Formerly under the skippership of Sub Ed Tortle. But now it's mine. All mine. And if you guys followed my channel, you'll have seen I completely redid this stern. Oh, that's beautiful. With more accurate stern appendages. And what we're going to do now is install our rear control surfaces. This is going to be super easy. I need to print the little creeper motors that stick out the back here too. So what we're going to do, this is stiff. We've got bushings running on the inside here. We're going to drill these out because this is too stiff to get my stainless control rods through. And then we're going to hook up our yokes inside and hook them up to the cylinder and do some testifications. Hopefully this thing will be ready to go for Subfest. So this is what we elected to do here. There was some misalignment in the upper rudder, but it's just out by a little bit. It's not perfect. I think once we paint it, you won't really see it. But the bottom, super cool. You guys remember it's a flying rudder, so this whole thing is in the lower rudder right now. And then we got these. So now we've got upper. Oh, I can't really move it like this. And then we got our diplanes. This is a little stiff. I wonder why. Why is that? Anyway, we'll figure it out. We'll see how it works with the servo majiggers. Elected to go with individual horns, top and bottom, so as not to interfere with the yoke for the diplanes, and so they just come in. I got a little gathering of heat shrink to keep them aligned, and then a stainless wheel collar to lock them in place. So adjustable, 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 all through there. Now what we got to do is figure out how to run this thing, because it's been forever since Ed toured me through. I got to figure that out and test all the systems, test the throws, make sure that that's all working, and then we can move on to cosmetics.
Well, I have spent the last little bit working on the Typhoon hatches, and they're not exactly in perfect condition, since the linkage holding them in place is pretty
A
tiny.
little sloppy.
Yep. However, I've managed to get it loose enough that with just a little bit of force from the inside, they flip right open.
Yeah. So background on this. This is for a customer who wants 2 matching boats. This is a 32-inch or 34-inch long Typhoon, and it's going to have a bunch of cool stuff in it. So we're just starting on this. We're way ahead of schedule on it, but Logan is doing a great job in getting all of this rigged up. So the challenge is when we scaled down the files, it also scaled down all the tolerances for the holes. So that's not good, which means we're going to have to do some creative problem solving in terms of tolerances and keeping everything aligned and stuff like that. But we got a lot done. Tomorrow we're going to yank the cylinder, change everything out. I just checked it. All the channels are messed up, or they're all left is going to right and right is going to left and all sorts of stuff like that. So we're going to figure that out. But it's super easy to do. And with the radio, obviously makes it nice and easy. So that is what we're going to do in the mañana. It's Friday, and it's going to be another stormy day today. So it kind of feels like a snow day, because our bench is full of boats, but we're waiting on the rain to stop before we can test any of them. And that includes the Type 7, the 212, the Titan, and the Delphin. 4 boats. I'm continuing work on my Alpha, and Logan is going to continue work on our fantasy tugboat. This is what we've got going on here. Redid the wheelhouse. We got super cool props like harpoon guns and crow's nests and smokestacks. We got all sorts of planage for this thing. I think it's looking really cool. What we've got, and Logan's working on right now, are a whole bunch of really cool detail parts that we got, and we're gonna prime out. We got our new characters and everything, so I think we're just gonna work on that today for a few hours. Trying to get the Alpha going though. I've got the rudders and everything are all working and on the correct channels. I unplugged my voltage telemetry. I got to figure out which smart port I rigged up in this TDR12. I got to remember how I did this now. But in the meantime, this electronic speed controller is very hot and non-functional. So that's not cool. I'm gonna go grab a new speed controller. It's hot. Just sitting here, it's hot. Let's see what we can do. And I think doing that too will get rid of all these hoses and everything that are taking up room in here. We got the break in the weather. It's not raining, so we're gonna go take the 212 out first. Check for some bubbles and such. But we're bench testing right now. Good, and the ballast tank, which is the big switch. Okay, we got it. Let's bring it out and see if we can see what there is to see. Top secret test faculty is behind me, and we got the 212 in the water. So we know it functions on the bench, so that's not a problem. What we'll do now, we'll check the trim real quick, cycle the ballast. So down, yep. Oh, that's a lot of, that is a lot of bubbles. Where's that coming from? The hull's cracked. The whole hull is cracked. Look at that. From here all the way back to here. Son of a booger. So there was positive pressure in there, so it shouldn't have gotten water inside, but we'll bring it inside and check it. Holy hell, this poor boat. So this entire thing was full of water. Not entire thing. There was water in here. Let's just put it that way. And as is evidenced by all the water on the table, this is not a good thing at all in the slightest. We've got a crack in the pressure hull that goes from the bow all the way back to here. So basically a third of the hull is split. Now, is it repairable? I mean, we can wick thin CA in here and fiberglass over everything, but it all depends on how far Howard is wanting to go in these repairs. Man, that is super unfortunate. I thought this was just a scratch, and I saw that earlier. But nope, that's compromising of the integrities. Well, after that disappointing test of the 212 for Howard, we're going to throw Titan in the water. So it looks like we're a little positively buoyant. We can shift those skid weights backwards a little bit. But before we do that, let's or maybe I'll do it now. Maybe I'll do it now. Oh yeah, this is moving. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. That's actually really good. So what we've got here now, people, is a perfectly statically hovering majigger. You can see that with the water disturbance there, I'm not touching the controls at all, and that pump is working to keep it at depth all by itself. So now, in theory, I should be able to like spin around. I'll turn to the left here. It's really maneuverable. That's super cool. Now I can come up, in theory. Yeah. Here. There we go. So this is fully surfaced right now. I think we got a winner. 2 more little weights, and we're good to go. Another really cool thing about this is it's got a magnetic on-off switch, so you just swipe right here above the thruster, and it turns on and off without having to open and close the hull. Yeah, that's pretty darn cool. All right. We're having a problem with this one. The magnetic switch kind of fell inside away from the wall, so my magnet's not powerful enough to turn it on. We're going to see if I can find a more powerful magnet so we don't have to crack into this again. All right, we've got Micro Delphin. Do you still have that rubber band? We should strap the upper hull onto the lower hull so it doesn't rip off when this thing hits Mach. All right, so apparently we forgot to trim it, so we need to add some foamage, which we did. But being the impatient person that we are, we're just gonna go for a little cruise, just a little cruise. A lot of downward. Hey. So, you know what happened? It's actually, this is just about perfect. So this is about neutrally buoyant. You know why it changed? There's an air bubble trapped in the canopy. We didn't drill that out.
Yep, I can see it. I can see a little bubble in there.
Yeah, but I mean before it was a big air bubble. So when it torqued over, it lost that.
Yeah, is there any drain holes in the bottom?
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is a fun little boat. Look at that. This is a quarter throttle. You booger, come on. I'll go on the other side, see if I can roast it. So recovery efforts are underway for Dolphin. With that loss of buoyancy, it was just slightly negatively buoyant and went down, and we lost the prop, which is super awesome. We didn't lose any of our foam though. That's funny. I mean, this isn't all that bad at all, honestly. We'll get it fixed up. Apparently our set screw didn't bite as well as we hoped it would. So we'll power that down, and over here we got Type 7. We're just gonna do some trimmage. Okay. I got no gas in it, so this might be aggressive. So now, because I've got no gas in it, what I'm going to do is just grab it, pull it out of the water, drain the water out of the ballast tank. You should hear it go glug, glug, glug in a second. Oh, I guess I should have. Try that again. I had the ballast open. That's pretty good. That's bang on. That's exactly what we want. Okay, so 3 weights, exactly in line with the end of this little sticky thing. All right, cool. Okay, we gotta wrap this week up. Let's take stock of how we're finishing the week out. Poor Delphin had some water in there. Not good, but we did drill our vent holes. We installed our foam. I think we're going to be in pretty good shape with this come next week. We just got to identify where that leak is coming from. We pressure tested it. It was fine, people. It was fine. The Type 7 had 2 drips of water in the back. I think we're in good shape. We'll test it. We'll make sure everything is copacetic and cool, but we installed the weights in the bow there, secured them permanently. This trimmed out nice. I think this is going to work really good. Our 212, poor Howard's 212. That gigantic crack is going to be a problem. I reached out to Howard. We'll see when he gets back to me what he wants to do about it. My Alpha is basically completely done, swapped out, ready to go. The only thing I need to do is get the telemetry for my battery done. The cool thing about these FrSky radios, FrSky radios, You can get modules like this, this Fast 40, and this will tell you your main battery voltage, and it'll tell you your current consumption in real time back to your transmitter. I just don't remember how to do it. SubEd is looking it up for me, and we'll document it on the forums for everybody. And Titan did really well. I was flabbergasted at just how well that automatic depth keeper was working to keep that submarine at depth. You know, the piston tank was working really good. I don't know why, but it's working. Next week's going to see some paint on this sucker. We're getting real close to finishing it up. I think maybe, if things go well, it'll be done next week. And last but not least, we worked a little bit on our fantasy steampunk tug. Let me show you how it's turning out. Logan loves this stuff, like absolutely loves it. He's got all the painting, for all the props and everything. We got funky steampunk cannons or machine guns or something that are going to go on here. We're going to run shafts down so these can be controlled and swiveled from the transmitter. We've got a fantasy steampunk mini sub that these guys use to salvage sunken ships with. We'll have a crane up here to launch and retrieve it, a winch here for winching ships up, all the new 3D printed parts. I just printed this new platform to get people standing at the correct height, platform for the harpoon up in the front. I've been researching the paint schemes I want to go with. This is going to be a rusty, dented, super character-filled boat. I'm so excited about it. I wake up in the night just thinking about it. We got our little crew guys too, all our little crewmen in here. So we're just going to keep plugging away at it. You know, is it going to be done in time for Subfest? Yeah. I get pretty low odds. We got a lot of other stuff to do. But you never know. You never know. Renee's away again next week. She just got back a few minutes ago from her trip to Florida, and she's going to be heading out to, I think it's Colorado next week. I lose track. For a couple of days. So I'll have some extra shop time. Maybe. So with that, we're done. We're wrapped up. It's end of the week. And just going to say hello to my beautiful wife. Enjoy the weekend. And we are going to pick things back up again next week. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Helps us out here a lot. Drop your comments below. I'd love to hear from you. With that, we're going to let you go. Enjoy your day. And as always, we will catch you next time.